because you'll end up in the Cheech and Chong world. And that's not where you need to be. You need to be in the firewood world. Well, hey there, hobby homesteaders. Welcome back to Peaks Peak. My name's Lucas. We're up here in the wood yard, sharing our hobbies on our 38 acres here in eastern Kentucky. And today, we've got some updates about some things around the wood yard, and I'm gonna work on the shed, putting some siding on it. I gotta share something that's kind of a good news, bad news situation about our whole power in the mill shed situation. I shared the other day, I got my Oupes power station over here and set up and hooked the solar panel up, got me some new high bay lights put in here so that I'll have good lighting to film in. And well, I don't know if you can see it in the frame or not, but my lights aren't on. I've always said when I talk about a product on here, I'm going to share the good and the bad, and I always try to give updates when something goes wrong or something goes right. And well, something went wrong, so we're going to talk a little bit about that. Now this particular power station is called the Oupes Mega 2. It's probably the most affordable power station that you can find. This is a 2500 watt max output power station, which is really the perfect size for something like this. You can get quite a bit of use out of it. You can run power tools. I've ran my table saw off of it. You know, it's powerful enough to do you some good. I can run these 300 watts worth of high bay lights for 5 hours, and that's with no solar charging taking place. So all in all, it's a really handy thing to have. But I'm on my third unit. I shared with you guys when the last one died, it was actually arcing inside the unit when I would try to charge it. So that was a dangerous situation, and so I contacted the company and they said, send it back to us and we'll send you a new one. And in fact, they had me the new one before I even shipped the old one out. I got that new one, and I basically just set it aside waiting for this project here because I knew this was on the horizon and this is what we wanted to do. So I didn't use that unit but one or two times, just a little bit. So I got this whole situation set up. I hooked up my solar power to it and everything was working great the first day that I hooked it up. Then I went on a little vacation. Me and my daughter went out to Colorado and we watched a concert at Red Rocks, and we hiked in Rocky Mountain National Park. Saw some amazing sights. It was awesome. But when I came home, I came up here to the wood yard and the unit was completely dead. So something burned up or died while we were gone. I don't know what caused it, and they said they would like for me to send the unit to one of their technicians so they could analyze it and find out what went wrong. And they sent me another new unit. So I'm putting the same unit in here, hooked up exactly the same way, because I don't know of any reason why I can't hook a solar panel and a couple of cords to it and run some lights. So I'll keep you posted on how that worked. But we have lights again. I just wanted to tell the whole story because I don't intend for my videos to be commercials. When you're doing big jobs like this and you need equipment to do these things, and this is one of those things that I think comes in really handy when you have a remote wood yard like this, is to have some power on hand. And I feel like that's something that would interest a lot of you. You want to know whether they work or not. So I try to share them when I get them and show how they work, and I'll try to share with you when they don't work or when they break and how the company responds to that. Customer service has been fantastic. So we'll see if they can fix their problems and move on from there. Now it is, well, it's about 9 a.m. on a Saturday morning. You can see we're getting a little bit of sunlight through the trees, but not very much to get on the solar panel. So we're just pulling in 6 watts of charge right now, but that will get better through the day. So I'm gonna go ahead and leave the lights on because I do like the lighting in here so I can film and you know, do work and you guys can actually see what's going on. Although I'm not going to be milling today, what I want to do is to start putting some more siding on the other side. I am still waiting for my track extensions from a mill so that I can mill a 16-foot board to go across here. I got a suggestion on something that I could do to link two boards together in the middle and put a brace and move ahead with the project. And if very much more time passes, that's the route that I'm gonna go. I'm gonna have to research that and figure out how to go about doing that. But anyway, so I can't bring my siding on across this part yet, but I can do the siding over here. So I think we'll get started on that. Yeah, so this process is actually going pretty quickly across this back header. Of course, I'm just making short boards and they're all exactly the same length, so that makes this pretty easy. All right, guys, well, before we wrap up this video, I wanted to share a couple of things because, get out of there, you can't have my drink. Because we got some pretty cool stuff from some friends of the channel that I wanted to tell you about, just because they're not only good supporters of the channel, but several of them have some great content that you might be interested in if you're not following them already. So I got my NOS energy drink in my Boys in the Woods koozie. If you are not a follower of Boys in the Woods, they put out some great logging and tree cutting content. Super entertaining because they love, if you follow any kind of chainsaw channels, logging channels, dropping tree channels, like Timber Cutter Patriot and all those, you know, there are so many hecklers and so many experts that want to tell you what you're doing wrong. And these guys are out there making a living doing these things. They know what they're doing. They're good at it. And so they have a lot of fun with those people that want to take jabs in the comments. And that's what I get the most kick out of with these guys, is they're not afraid to fire back, and I enjoy that. So check out Boys in the Woods. They have content on YouTube, but they really specialize in Facebook, and they do really well over there. They've got a lot of great content over there. So look them up and check out their content. And what I'm going to do is, now, if you've been a long-time follower of the channel, you know I have a sticker collection on the back of my Kubota BX tractor from a lot of the channels that I started making friends with when I was putting out the Kubota BX content. And I really enjoyed that. So when I started gathering up a collection of stickers from other supporters of the channel, other channels that are making content kind of like we are, well, I decided the face of the sawmill is probably a good place to start a sticker collection. So Boys in the Woods are going to claim the first spot right up here on our sawmill. And they're really cool. They also sent me some small ones so I can put some stickers on my chainsaws. Next up is actually not a content creator, but they are a seller of firewood and custom millwork out of Dagsboro, Delaware, I believe. He does firewood delivery. I think he's got a Woodland Mills mill and a Wolf Ridge log splitter. And you can follow him on Facebook. He's called Luxury Logs. Sent me this really nice t-shirt as well as a really nice hat. And I really appreciate that. I thought this was super cool. Yeah, Kevin over there is doing a great job. He's a great friend of the channel. So we will find him a spot right here on the Mac sawmill. And I will share his information so that if you are in the Delaware area and you need to order firewood or you need some custom millwork, you can give them a call and they'll take care of you. Now actually, this next sticker I'm gonna put on here, I have followed his content for a long time, and about 6 months or so ago, I got to meet him at a big farm show, and I thought that was super cool. And he was really friendly, even though I'm, you know, a little guy compared to his channel, but that is Hank Hamilton from Hamiltonville Farms. Hank has the Hamiltonville Farm channel where he shares his Will It Start content, and most recently he's doing a project with his daughters restoring a K10 truck. It's going to be awesome. But then he also has started another channel under his name, Hank Hamilton, and he shares tractor content on there, and he does tractor reviews or talks about different implements and things like that. All content that's related to the stuff that we do. So if you're not already following him, which you probably are, then check out Hank Hamilton and Hamiltonville Farm. So we're going to put his sticker on here. And last but not least is a friend of mine named Steve, who started following our channel, I think because we were building our cabin out there by the pond. And Steve has a channel called Steve's Build Life where he builds cabins. And it just so happens that he has started kind of shifting toward doing a lot of woodyard work too. And so he started a second channel called Up in Smoke. Now, if you want to find his channel, don't just search for Up in Smoke, because you'll end up in the Cheech and Chong world. And that's not where you need to be. You need to be in the firewood world. So search for Up in Smoke Firewood. He sent me this cool hat and stickers for both of his channels, Up in Smoke and Steve's Build Life. So check those channels out if you're interested in that type of content. We'll put Steve's Build Life over here. Ooh, just about wrinkled it. All right, looking good. Well guys, listen, this is just a quick little update. I don't have a whole lot of time to be up here in the woodyard to work today because I've got to head to a memorial service for a good friend of mine, longtime friend and brother in the church that is a Vietnam veteran. He's a good guy. Appreciate his service. I appreciate his devotion to the Lord. So I think I need to take a few minutes out of my day to go remember him. And so that's going to wrap things up for today. Till next time, Get outside and enjoy God's creation. It's beautiful out here. Y'all have a good day.